Alright. What's up, everybody, and welcome back. We have a big series today. It's the Grand Finals of the Weekly Cup, and it's Dragon Phoenix Gaming's Cure. This is technically the NA Weekly. Of course, that just tells you what server gets preference and what time zone it's kind of played on or optimized for, but it is open like all the regions are. Onside Gaming Solar in the bottom left side of the map. So, Dragon Phoenix Gaming versus Onside, an ongoing story. Solar just blitzed Cure's teammate Dark. Blitzed is completely the wrong word. He beat him in a very, very close best of three, where he managed to hold on against Dark's relentless aggression. The other Dragon Phoenix Gaming player, Cure, is going to follow up with also a whole bunch of very aggressive plays. Now, where are you going to send the Overlord? There is a pillar over there. I don't know where else you could go with this. Looks like he's just going to fly past towards the main base, saying, yeah, that's fine, but that's a bit of an odd choice. Oh, he's actually going to pull 4 drones. That's a terrible call. There's no way this is worth it, guys, right? I don't like this call. Oh, I don't like that call from Solar, guys. I didn't even realize he was pulling 4 drones. That's a lot of mining time he's going to lose, and all Cure has to do is run away. It's all he has to do. And yeah, he's already like, okay, yeah, you killed an SCV, but you've lost 2 drones, not to mention all this other mining time. Those drones need to get out of there. I mean, he gets a Marine and an SCV for 2 drones, right? That seems like it's okay, but he did lose a lot of mining time running over there. It's a lot of minerals that goes down. Mining gas now is Solar. Is he going to drop a Roach Warren? I feel like he's just going to try and snipe the SCV and then just like basically say, as long as there's no bunkers, we good. But nah, the bunker going up means he's probably, yeah, he's got to pull drones to the natural, so at least they're ready to pull if needed. Factory, of course, is on the way behind this. No second gas just yet. Ling's coming forward, and he's just going to focus the SCV. That allows him to pull back and wait for the Queens. Marine's coming forward, but if they go too deep on creep, they could get surrounded. So this looks like it's been mostly shot down. No actual injects going down yet. I think Solar could go for the double inject if he wanted to. He's actually still building Zerglings, which is entirely unnecessary. If there's no bunkers going up, there's no need to be building Zerglings. So I think Solar's playing a little afraid right now. He's been proxy racked so many times with Beyond recently, for instance, following it up with Reapers after the first 2 Marines, Cure, Maru, all of them. Every time Maru makes a comeback and beats Solar in a macro game, he always follows it up with a 2 racks or even a 3 racks proxy every single time. All right, guys. Natural Command Center going up on location. Still building Marines out here is dicey, and that's why he's going to float that home now. He's like, yeah, we'll have Hellions popping soon. Still trying to force Solar into playing scared, and Solar is playing scared because he didn't go for the Spine Crawler. So he's not been injecting his main. He did with the most recent Queen that popped, but none of the others. Queens are pretty good with the transfuses available. He's got 2 transfuses. He just drops them ahead of time, says, yeah, probably better to just drop them. Make sure we don't lose any of these Queens. He maybe could have held off with it on that one, but definitely needed to heal that Queen. Thing speed's going to be it, man. If the Hellions join with the Marines, it's going to be hard to surround and kill them with Zerglings. Solar's got to stop losing these drones. At this point, if I was Solar, I'd just hold the Zergling key down and go for a big surround. But Solar, he wants to play proper StarCraft. He doesn't want to gamble on getting a big surround. Oh, he goes for it, but he's way too clumped. This is a good fight for Cure. Really good fight for Cure. Great micro. Terrible fight for Solar. Oh, that's real bad, man. That's real bad. And now he cancels the 3rd, feeling like he can't defend it. He's dead. Dead man walking. He might be up six workers right now. You might think, oh, isn't that okay? No, he's so screwed. It's a terrible position. I feel like the Marines should just go home now, but he might even bring them forwards and try to cancel the 3rd on the other location. Cloak Banshees are going to follow it up, and he's having to build so many Zerglings as Solar. I think this position's very awkward. I do think he could have been greedier initially and then gone for heavier Zerglings a little bit after the initial double injects went down. But that's what it's all about. It's all about really intricate timing sense. A lot of people, they always ask, well, how are you meant to defend this? How are you meant to defend a 2 racks or a barracks bunker push? And the thing is, the devilry's in the details, and that's kind of high-level StarCraft in general, and most StarCraft past a certain skill level is all about, it's not what, but when. It's not, how do I beat Marines? It's, well, when are those Marines hitting you? What upgrades do they have? Like, how much are they committing to it? And where do you want to stop your economy in order to respond to it just right? So for Solar, once he pulled those drones and the Lings, killed the SCV building the bunker, I think he'd already sacrificed so much income. It was very important for him to just hold the drone key down, get 2 injects, and then bring his queens to the front, because it wasn't until... I don't think a Terran is ever going to push on creep against 2 queens with an unknown number of Zerglings behind it with Marines until he gets at least 8 Marines. And there was like 4 Marines. So he should have known, okay, it's going to be another 35 seconds, 36 seconds until the next Marines pop, say 45 seconds till he's got 8 Marines on the front. I can build a round of drones, do a double inject, and then build some extra Zerglings and a 3rd queen for safety. And I just would have liked to see that corner be cut. Now, despite that, first Banshee does nothing. Sporkruller's moving over. I think he was expecting a Liberator with that former placement. Banshee doesn't get that much damage, though, mostly mining time, and it's just got to leave. So, very good start there to the defense for Solar. He's still up 13 workers. I've criticized, I've ripped him down, I've said he's a bad player. No, I haven't. I'm just kidding. But I have basically been like, man, I don't know where this other drone went down. I don't know how this other drone just popped up. Did he just kill his own worker or something? It's weird. Anyways, he's obviously still very good, and he's fighting back to a very good position. What's interesting is he's going Roach Horn. I think that's because this map has amazing tank positions. Down here, down here. There's like so many positions down these ridges where you can put tanks up behind here. But Corrosive Bile can just shoot across those ridges. So that's why he's saying, well, if I play Roach Ravager, I should be good. Now, 3rd Command Center is floating out. 1-1's on the way for Cure. Cure's just veering around with the Hellion Banshee, picking off creep. But it's immediately getting respread, which is why it's not the most effective use of that scan just yet. Just slows the creep down only very momentarily. Alright, Hellion's there. He's got the double drop of Marines coming in. First 7 Roaches are about to hit the field. The Lings are not going to be very useful against this. So he definitely wants to build a few more Roaches. A few Ravagers even making here for Solar. He's on 66 workers, going to a 4th base. And I think he's going to swap back into Ling Bane after this handful of Roach Ravager in a little while. But heavy pressure on him right now. Transfuses are going down. Good heals so far. Ling Run By comes in. Marines try to stem forward, but they're very damaged. Ooh. Good run by here for Solar. Gets all the Marines. He'll get the tank as well. Does lose his 4th hatchery. No cancel, so at least Cure gets something, but losing a tank, 5 Marines, 5 SCVs for Zerglings. Oof. That's a bit of a nasty. Solar does need to rebuild that 4th, as well as getting himself a 2nd Evo chamber. There we go. +1 range starts up. He apparently already has the 2nd Evo, just wasn't using it yet. Queens and Roaches come towards the main. The Spore goes down. Good trades for Cure. Picks off the Spore and a bunch of those Roaches as well. Hellion's trying to find an angle. Not quite there just yet. Cure's got a 3rd base down to the bottom now. Should he have taken this 3rd? Because the tanks can kind of cover it? Nah, maybe. I do think this is probably the better 3rd, because this choke point going into it is a bit of a brutal area. Banshee's there, going to push back the Roach Ravager. Queens are going to say, get out of here, you naughty little... You Banshees. Banshee, please. Roach Ravager coming south. Loses 1 or 2 Marines, but he gets a drone. And Solar's finally got that 4th base rebuilding on the left side. I feel like Solar should be ahead in this game. Even though I was criticizing what he did earlier, I think he's actually, you know, he's apparently knows a lot more about early game ZvT than me. And admittedly, it's one of my big struggles is identifying those situations. I probably need to study these replays with like a Lambo to really have him explain why I'm wrong in my analysis, why my understanding is actually off by a few seconds and that sort of stuff. But, for now, Solar, he's in the lead. I just think he could be much further ahead. I guess that's what I was trying to get at there. And he's also going melee and range. So, he's queuing up Carapace after +1 range. Just doesn't want his melee upgrades to get left in the dirt. So he's going to go for +1 melee first. Yeah, that makes sense. Hive started as well. And Baneling Speed's on the way. Hard for Cure to really get a push together. He's going to start a 4th command center and play defensive and try to catch up that way. He's also got, check it out, double Tech Lab. So a little bit more Marauder production than you normally see. Very good if your opponent opens Roach Ravager into Baneling, because they're not going to have quick melee upgrades. And they're not going to have as many Zerglings. So just less Zerglings with worse attack upgrades means Ravagers, Roaches, Banelings all struggle against Marauders. These Roaches up there. Check out the control groups. That's his anti-drop squad. Only 7 Roaches. It's a very minimal number, but it's enough to scare him off since he's on top of it. Now, I've seen players not breaking these rocks down, and it's a bit of a travesty. You're a Zerg with map control. Go clear up the rocks. It's so important on the new map pool, and obviously it's still a new map pool, so I'll forgive the players for not knowing it yet. But I'll harp on about it now early in the map pool because I really think it's silly to see a Zerg player with map control not opening these rocks up and preparing to actually give themselves wide open areas, flanking paths, run by paths, all that good stuff that's going to allow them to dominate. Plus, 2 Vipers are on the way. We've got Ravagerling Bane up here, going to shut this drop down super easy. Kua has gone now for a second factory, so he's got double factory tank production. The factory on the front line, really nice to reinforce into the fight. Really dicey, though, because it's so exposed out there. He's going to be playing against Ultras in the near future. Remember, this is all played on the balance map as well, guys. Oh, Marines focused down a Baneling. Oh, he did miss pickup there. Loses a few more Marines than he should have. Kua could have flown those medevacs over a little bit earlier. And he's not going to get that one. But good pickups, man. Saving these Marines before many can go down. And +2 melee is being forgotten. So he's keeping Solar busy, and Solar's making some mistakes as a result of it. There we go. The moment he sends all the drops back home, Solar does fix that up. Biles on the medevacs could be nice, but only 2 Ravagers there, so not enough to actually kill it. Oh, wait. Don't think that was even on it anyway. He kills his own Ravager. Oh, no. Solar made a bit of a doo-doo there. Q with a giant push on the north of the map. Solar lacking map vision right now. Oh, this is really bad for Solar. He's going to lose drones, the base, and that base. Knocked back to 4 bases again. That base could go down. Nice cancel there. I can see the Vipers pop some parasitic booties all over those medevacs if they can. Roach goes down on the run by as well. Where are the Banelings, man? It's a big, scary Terran army. Where's the Banelings? He needs them. He doesn't have any Infestors or anything to deal with the big pack of bio. It's just about the Banelings, of which he doesn't have that many. And he's already let Kua get such a good position. Kua's just going to click the hatchery. Oh my god. Solar's getting ransacked here. From, I think you should be ahead, but you're not being as decisive as you could be, to, wow, Kua. Just a giant maxed out bio tank push. The Ling run by ain't going to do that much. That's a 4th orbital, so it can just lift. SCVs can run away. The rally point will protect it. Solar's got to be up forward. He can't be letting these guys come onto him like this. You can't let these tanks just march forward and siege in your face. Kua's not watching his army. His medevacs are out of juice. This army is actually super exposed. Kua's got to pre-spread that army. He should not be this close together. Marines really want that Viper kill. He runs very deep on creep trying to get it. Banelings say, no, no. Naughty boy. Masslings catch this Marine rally. That's a good fight for Solar. Gets a lot of those Marines on the surround. Kua quickly tries to pull back and get back to the rally of Marauders, but a very good fight for Solar. He needs Blinding Clouds on 3 or 4 of these tanks, and then his Ultras should be able to roll through. Chitinous Plating is done. He's got 2-2 upgrades about to finish at the very least, and that Banshee will run out of energy in the bottom right side. Even a drop there in the left. Here we go. Viper's coming forward. First Blinding Cloud lands, second one, and third as well. Very nice Blinding Cloud coverage on those tanks. The Ultras are going down, though. And my god, I think Kua might have enough to just win the game right here. Because even though he loses the tanks, he keeps some of the Marines and medevacs alive. If he had a drop hitting the bottom right at the same time, it'd be game over. Either way, that's only Solar's 4th on the right side. Kua is on 4 bases as well. Nice little Baneling roll, but the mules drop in just a second too late to be detonated. So very good for Kua that he keeps some of those alive. Kua's up 15 supply. He's got 2 more command centers building as well. And man, he just keeps taking these bases out. Solar never got enough creep on the edges to defend that 4th or 5th or 6th base location. And now he's just stuck on 4 bases. He's lacking a little bit of map vision in this one. These are both orbitals, so he definitely should stay active with Ling run bys. Keep trying to run these Zerglings into these bases and see what you can get done. Ghosts are on the way. Ultras are very good off creep with anabolic synthesis and everything. And of course, these are the small, cute Ultralisks, for those who don't know. Notice how it's about the same size as a Ravager in terms of the model. So they can get in there a bit faster. They also have improved range slot. The Ghosts Snipe also will get nerfed on this new map pool. On this new map balance, I should say. Basically, if your opponent gets 14 range away, then steady targeting will get broken. I believe it's 14 they changed it to, or 14.5 in the most recent notes. It was 13.5 before. I think they changed it to 14. I'll check that later. Extra orbitals on the way. Mass orbital seems to be the winning way to play it. Only 68 SCVs, so not the biggest worker count for Kua. trying to remax out. No infestors, I think, is a terrible idea. At this point, I think you need infestors. I get Solar's like, hey dude, just numbers. That's all I need. But 1 or 2 fungals on the Marauders and Ghosts to let the Ultras, the Lings, the Banes connect. Could be game changer. 30 damage from each fungal, of course, is big. And in general, it's one of my favorite ways to play when behind against a player. Especially a guy who's just going for a mass army supply and not as many workers like Cure is. I don't know. I just feel like the fungal potential is huge. I always harp on about it, but I really feel like Cyril's ahead of the meta in that he's been doing burrowed fungal in late game ZvT, and he gets it up and gets ready for that very early. And I think you guys are going to see a lot of it at the World Championship, especially on a bigger map pool. I think he's going to do a lot better than some of the other Zergs using that Infestor earlier in the game. All right, Ling Bane rolling in, definitely going to take out the Sensor Tower with the Lings. Banelings going after the Worker line, but Marauders slow them down. Banelings connect with some of the Marines and some of the SCVs, but overall a successful defense there. Cure only losing 6 SCVs and a Sensor Tower for a big pack of Ling Bane. Solar is almost maxed, and you might think, well, that means he's even. But no, no, no. Guys, he's got 9 Banelings. You're used to a Zerg in this situation having 50 or 60 Banelings. Nice parasitic bombs. Cure trying to do a spready there, but you can see the parasitic bombs getting very good damage. Ow, 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 ow. Really nicely done. A lot of the medevac's very low. The next ones potentially could kill them. He's going to go for it. That means there's no Blinding Cloud, having used all that Viper energy, guys. That does hurt a little bit. Bile does land. Another parasitic bomb lands, taking out one of the other medevacs. He's going to have to give up this base, though. Solar gets in with some Lings. He kills 8 SCVs. Does not have Burrow, unfortunately. Burrow is something we've seen missing from a lot of players play recently. That's another thing which often comes out with the Infestors. So another reason to love the Infestor player Cyril at the moment. Even though people could argue he's not God tier in the matchup right now. I think he's got some really nice details we can all learn from. Even if he does seem mortal. Tanks going down. Ooh, a couple of Ravagers get punished by Snipe, but we saw the Snipe getting broken. 2 or 3 of those Ravagers escaped. Whereas previous patch, they would not have. Q is just keeping his economy small, though, and there's not many Banelings in here. Couple Banes come in from behind. Oh, the Banelings! The Banelings get some juicies on the Marines, trying to get the Ghosts as well. I think there's just enough units with the Banelings to get rid of those Ghosts. Oh, just enough units to take those Ghosts out. But a rally on the right side, not to mention the medevac picks up 2 of these and pop, pop. No! The Ultra got out of vision. Now, I don't know if that was a vision or range issue there, because it felt like it left vision right around the same range as the, or even before the steady targeting would have been broken by that 13.5 or 14 range. Solar's down on supply. Scrappy Ling backstabs are where it's at. He's up 15 workers, but there's mass orbital, and that's an issue. Oh, attacking down this ramp. I think he thought he caught Cure off guard. And this is the scenario where, imagine fungal. What is what I'm talking about, man? Just 1 or 2 infestors on the map. It's got to be something you go in these scenarios. Without it, the Terran's going to start marauding around the map like this. Just knowing you have infestors is going to make him more paranoid. I'm not advising people get 5. I think 1 or 2 infestors, no upgrade. And even just show him an infestor and watch the Terran play a completely different game with his army movement. Ravagers get caught by tanks on the south side. Uh-oh. That's real nasty for Solar. He lost a few Ravagers, but Ling Run By gets 2 siege tanks, which is really well done. See a bit of an F2 home, F2 to the front. 3 Vipers can Blinding Cloud, Parasitic Bomb to their heart's content. Problem is there's Ghosts now, so he can't do it on his own. He can only do it when he goes in with everything at once. Blinding Cloud all over the bio. The Banelings struggling to get through that front line. A Parasitic Bomb in the medevacs as well, forcing Q to micro many things at once. I think he might have broken through. That's a lot of Marines in there. Not that many Marauders. No Ghost sniping. There's only 1 Ghost even there. Oh, damn. Solar's done it, I think. These new Ultras are a little bit smaller. They're able to actually squeeze through and get on top of the target. Oh, I don't know if that was the right time to turn around. He does lose a few extra Ultras. Planetary on the north side as well. A good time to have gone for a Planetary. I'd like to see Solar continue to send all of his Lings down to that south base as a counterattack squad. The problem for Solar is he can't do that, because if he loses the top left, he's got no money. So he's going to be forced to keep his army up here defending. And that's scary for him, because it's like, how do you establish a hatchery on the south at the same time? You simply can't. The drop on the north is going to come on in. That's going to cause him trouble. He's going to quickly scramble up there with his Linglongs. Linglongs say, bitey, bitey, get out of here, Mr. Marine. You're a bad person, dude, going after my workers. Q says, dude, you've got buffed space cows. You're a bad person, man. You're a bad person. Keep in mind, a lot of these maps are bigger with more spread out bases. It's harder to turtle, like Maru and Cura and the like were doing in the previous patch, or the previous map pool for that reason. And you've also got the Ultras a little bit buffed. So, as it, you know, it's harder to turtle the way you would, where everything's just walled off and Ultras can't do anything. Even with the Ultras being smaller, the map pool, at least maps like this one, Ancient Cistern, seems to be pretty good for that. You know, I was thinking Cistern was a medium map for rush distance, but it actually seems to be slightly larger. I would guess 34 seconds. Natural to natural move path. We'll see how it goes. Oh, the Liberator harass. Oh, this is such a dirty move. Oh, I mean, it's a solid move. It's good StarCraft. He abducts the Liberator to get that one out of there, but of course that just means it is not Siege, which means Ravager Biles won't hit it if he moves, and you don't want to waste Parasitic Bombs because you got to use 2 of them to pick him off. Solar's whole army gets pulled over. That Liberator could come back in at any time. Cure is dancing with his opponent right now, and he's definitely the one who is leading. Solar has to find a way to take control of this, and I don't know how that's going to be. Cure's got just all these little drops pinpricking around. He's going to get the Hive. Queen's quickly, she tries to transfuse, but it does have a cooldown of 1 or 2 seconds, I believe, so wasn't able to get the second transfuse out. The Hive goes down, as does the Queen. A new lair is being made. Spire's already been made. Ultra Cavern's not in danger of melting unless this creep doesn't spread over there. Marine Drop could go in and get the Ultra Cavern and be nice. Vipers! 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 Oh, neither player watching there. Solar is going for a big attack. The tanks are in the open. This is a bad attack angle, though, I think. I think this is really good for Cure. Oh, he's spreading backwards. He's spreading backwards. Ultra up front. Oh, a bunch of Ghosts got hit by Banelings. And no scan going down for Cure, but surprised those snipes didn't land. That was interesting. Have to take a look at these fights again, I think, in the replay to really see, is that just the range? Is that why they're cancelled? Or is he pressing cancel accidentally? So it looked a bit too close to be cancelled from the 14 range. Nice pick up on the double drop. Liberator's been forgotten about in the north of the map. He's still got a little drop of just 3 Marines there. It does feel like Solar's supply is really good. But this base and this base still have a fair bit of minerals. On the other hand, Solar has 1, 2, 3 fresh bases. This base is still looking all right as well. The harassment was nice for a while, but I think Cure might... Oh, he's got a planetary over here as well. Yeah, he's worried about his production getting broken. I think... Okay, that's a really safe base, though. That's easily defended. Yeah, and he's just got to try and get a few ghosts. If he can get a few ghosts here to snipe whenever Solar comes forward and EMP, that'd be big. Drones are going down to the Liberator in the top left. 4 drones. Corruptors in the Spore will take care of that bad boy. Double drop in the bottom right. Unable to deal with that. Liberators would be fantastic for harassing the bottom right side, and then you drop the north. Kind of rotate those options. Whenever there's just Ultraling Bane around, use the Liberators. Whenever it's air units, try to sneak a Marine drop in if you can. Marines and Marauders coming on in, looking for some drones, but quick scramble by Solar. The Lings and the Ultras ain't going to give him an easy time. That drop has to get out of there. And Corruptor Viper coming this way as well. Cure, he's got 10 Ghosts, he's got 5 tanks, he's building 3 more. A Liberator, when someone's this heavy on tanks all game, Broodlord Infester becomes the best composition for the late game. But he's so busy as Solar right now. There's so much fighting. He doesn't really have time to contemplate tech switches. Oh, triple drop comes in the north side. Just stims in for the win. Snipes the hatchery. Commandson is floating over. Cure kind of announcing his intentions there. I wouldn't mind him going for a planetary here. Somewhere down here on the low ground. And then moving towards it. Starting to get planetaries. Planetary. Oh! Okay, Ultra Baneling. Solar says, screw that. I'm just going to blow up your workers and your base. I just want to wound your economy a little bit. Takes that and pulls back. Don't want to chase in too far. I would like to see more attacks on this right side until I remember that there's a planetary there. And remember, guys, he made high-sec auto tracking, knowing the secret to success. Success is wink, wink, nudge, nudge to get that +1 range on missile turrets, planetary fortresses, and the like. I believe they've removed the Neo Steel armor from working on auto turrets, but I think the +1 range still works for that. Nice ducks here coming in. Having to use a lot of those to make sure he could confirm the kills. Ooh, I don't know about this attack. I don't know. This is a weird angle. Oh my god, crazy angle that Solar attacks into. Oh no, that was a disaster. That was an absolute disaster, mate. He thought he found an opening. Ah, damn. But that was definitely a bad fight for Solar, and finds himself now down 10,000 resources lost. We might see Cure try and move a command center to the top left now, feeling hey, you just gave me room to move out now. I can entrench in this territory, and I think that'd be a great move for him. He's building more command centers. I think he's going to get another planetary over here as well. Tanks, libs, planetary spread everywhere is a nice way to do it. He's got 8 Corruptors, so I think 8 Corruptors is going to kill those Liberators a little bit quicker. Blue Flames on the way, +3 vehicle weapons is done. That's definitely what you want to add in the late stage. I still think Broodlord Infesta would be pretty good, but of course Cure is preparing for that, assuming that's going to be the next step. He's already building Thors. Thor's the answer to Broodlords in small numbers. There's only 7 tanks left, which I think is a bit more of a healthy count. You'd rather have Liberators than Siege tanks, as Liberators cannot fall victim to Broodlords. Kind of split map scenario. I mean, definitely try to mine this base out. Try to mine this base out as solar. And then your opponent is limited, and you could play the efficiency game for sure. Big, what is it, 250mm Punisher cannons come out there for Cure. For those who don't know, 250mm, that's 25 centimeters. I don't know if you guys have ever held a ruler down there before, but trust me, it's a big boy. Ling Bane coming on in. He's going to go towards it, but the snipes. Oh, man, the snipes. A bunch of Corruptors. Okay, 3 Corruptors go down. Thor's going to die. Blue Flame not quite done. That held that with +3. Not able to one-shot those Lings until Blue Flame finishes. You need to get that pre-infernal, or that, sorry, infernal pre-igniter. I always call it pre-infernal igniter or something, but it's infernal pre-igniter. And now those Hellbats will start one-shotting Zerglings as well as Broodlings. And you can see just how effective that is versus the Ling Bane. The Banelings can blow up against him. Still not cost-efficient for the Zerg. On the left side of the map, he's going to shove on in there. Oh man, that's what I'm talking about. Imagine a fungal against this sort of army with no range, splash damage. It's hard to get in on top of that stuff. Got some decent Baneling hits, did solar, but oh, he continued in. I thought he would pull back on the right. He loses a lot of those units. That Ultra goes down as well. Burning Space Cow. Oh man, Cure. I gotta say, guys, the Cure is disgusting me right now. And honestly, it's for one reason only. You might be like, oh, so biased casting. I don't give a shit. This is my channel. I cast as biased as I feel like. Long story short, though, anyone who orders their goddamn beefsteak well done is an absolute savage. And that was like the 6th Ultralisk I've seen. Wasn't just well done, it was burnt to a goddamn crisp. You just shoot it until it's medium. Medium rare even is delicious. Medium well, pretty bad, but well done is absolutely disgusting. Ling Bane Ravager running in, Blinding Clouds, Corruptors, Vipers. Oh, it's a bit of a desperate attack for Solar. I don't think he's going to be able to breach those tanks and Ghosts on the high ground. Cure. What is his Ultralisk? Medium. No, not medium. Well done. He orders. Ah, man, we screwed up the line. He orders his Ultralisk. Well done. GG. Good game from Cure. That was a really close game one. An awesome way to start this series. And now we're going on to my favorite map from the new pool. It's Neo-Humanity. Top left, we got Solar and Onside Game and Cure on the bottom right. Now, the reason I love this map is a few reasons. So let's go down to Cure's expansion. And first things first, you've got mineral walls, each with 30 minerals. It's gold minerals, so it takes 5 trips of 7 minerals to mine that open. And then you can get down to the third base. Or if the opponent comes in, they can take a gas there. And then they can swap minerals for gas and mine open your back door. Which, if you're just doing a normal expand, you might not have vision of this mineral patch. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to be cheesing some people on the ladder where I build a gas there, mine that out, and flood like Zerglings or, I don't know, Hellions or probably Zerglings or Zealots. I don't know if I'd do it as Terran. As Terran, I feel you arrive with your army. You drop a mule, mine it, drop a mule, mine it from top and bottom, and then you just stim through, get into their base. Now, no proxy barracks here. I think it was a really good way to get Solar's heart beating fast and pressure on him at the start of that game. This map, you know, here it's going to be a decent size. The other big feature of this map, of course, or 2 features, is you can break this down and then you can they're just movement blockers. So they both have 400 hit points and 1 armor. Just allows you to move up behind it. So if you break that, you could technically mine from this side of the minerals for 5 of those patches. It's not the biggest deal though. The bigger one is these 4 coolant towers are connected. If you break one, they all break. And it actually breaks rocks here, 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 and here. So it creates a huge obstruction. Not only is the middle blocked by 2 sets of rocks, but you've also got a semi-obstruction on this ramp and a semi-obstruction on that ramp, which obviously slows down movement on the map a lot. So very curious to see if either player utilizes that at some point to just kind of stop up the middle of the map. There's also, of course, a slow zone in the middle as well on top of that. So definitely something to keep in mind. I'm sure some of the pros don't realize that they're all connected right now because they've probably looked at the map but didn't actually read the description and haven't tested it just yet. So I guarantee you we're going to have some players getting surprised by that. All right, Reaper going in. Just not finding any damage. Pretty good D by Solar, but he did build 6 Zerglings, and it's a pretty big map, so I don't think that was necessary. See, they didn't take that much damage. It wasn't necessary. Third command center for Cure. He's just going to play a nice, solid, greedy opening. Starport and Hellions, and then second gas. Usually second gas goes before Hellions, right? Yes, it does. All right, Reaper dancing back. Those combat drugs working as well as they can. Allows him to heal up outside of combat, and he's back at max life. Reaper's trying to dance around, was hoping to catch the tumor spreading. It's not a tumor! It's interesting that Solar's taking this third out to the left. Does that mean he'll take this fourth as well? I mean, there's some really cool, like, tank positions. If you take that fourth, like, tanks up here are impossible to dislodge. Likewise, though, if you go down this side, there's also some really nasty spots on the high ground above it. So whichever way you go, I feel like you should take that third, that fourth, and just kind of expand in both directions at once. And I think the maps almost encourage that, most of the modern map pool. I do like that we're getting more spread out bases. I think that's my favorite thing. Definitely more spread out bases makes me happy. So even if Terrans have a bit of a long push path, they can use their mobility with their bio, their Widow Mine drops, their harassment. Widow Mines on the map as well as being dropped. Both very effective as well. Now, Solar still has not put back on gas. That's kind of wild. It's 420 and he hasn't put back on gas. Like, what? I mean, there's greed and then there's whatever Solar's doing, guys. That's beautiful. He's already got his third so saturated. Damn, dude. So you can see he's now rallying onto gas at like 440. Dude, he's got to take a second gas. Otherwise, he's just never going to get his upgrades and his Baneling nest finished. Baneling speed and 1-1 finished, yeah. So they'll be starting so late. He's got a lot of queens. Hellion's trying to fight him. Does force all of his queens together. And if the Zerg doesn't split their queens up once you make him do that, that's a huge mistake. So that's kind of the advantage of fighting 1 or 2 queens on the edge. You force the Zerg to then group their queens together, and then they go back to splitting them up. And sometimes that catches the Zerg off guard a bit with their control groups. Viking already got 1 Overlord kill, and now it's just pushing the vision back. And he shouldn't move forward. Cure! Oh no, big mistake for Cure. He should not have been that greedy. Good Spore movement. Lib does come in though, and it does at least, it's baited the Spore out of position. It's going to shift click the drones if he's really on point, but really good move with the Spore. Hellions and Reaper trying to get that 4th hatchery. Liberator almost gets a queen, but not quite. And it's going to get shut down, man. Solar defends the 4th, defends the Viking, defends the Lib. He's looking very nice right now. Sitting pretty at 60 workers. His 1-1 upgrades are starting, which means his Baneling speed is literally never going to finish. Oh, God. I feel like everything's gone great for Solar, but that lair not starting is a huge, huge problem. This has gotten him in trouble. I've seen him lose games recently where he looks ahead, then you realize his Baneling nest has not even built. And you're like, what? Where's Bane speed? And 9 minutes in, a very late stim tank push can just kill him. Luckily for him, it's a reacted factory. It's going to be bio mine, not bio tank. A fierce marine tank push would cause a lot of trouble for those slow Banes. But either way, stim, shields, all that stuff, it's going to have at least a minute to work in his side of the map before his Bane speed is done. Now, Solar is going for this area. This is a pretty tight choke point, though, so definitely a spready of Widow Mines down there can be hard to deal with. And if Cure can then work the right side drops as well, that's going to be an issue. I like that there's a drone mining these gold minerals out. And they're actually, oh, they've reduced it to just 14 minerals. Sorry, guys. So it's only 2 mineral trips on each of these. And you get a bit of bonus money from it, which is very nice. Double medevacs coming forward. Marine on the watchtower. Hellion's helping to guard that. Okay, guys. There's a lot of Zerglings and queens. These queens need to be careful to not get caught off creep or on the edge of creep. Ooh, 2 queens going down almost instantly. Zerglings try to fight, but not into Hellions. And Baneling speed just started up. This is the deadly sort of window that I was talking about. Bane speed's not ready. The Hellions do take the Banes to the chin. but that means all the Lings are not in Baneling form. It's just a handful of Queens and Lings. The Marines are very low. Stimming again, a little bit of a dicey move for Cure, as it put all of his Marines in 1 or 2 hits from death. And he'll save that last Marine, get on out of there. But more Biomine coming forward. Combat shields and 1-1 is about to finish. If he can unload these Marines and heal them up, he can keep this aggression going really nicely. The Watchtower does get taken out one more time. That is filled with sight blockers. Marines coming on forth. Widow Mines are there as well. Looks like Ling's trying to get past. A big parade is not something you can beat as Zerg, especially with Baneling speed so late. He goes for a giant Ling backstab. That has got to be the play, but he doesn't get on the natural. He only gets on the third, which means those SCVs can get pulled. They get mineral pulled a bit too late. Banelings do connect with some of the Marines on front. 12 SCVs go down. A good move here for Solar. Oh my god, he got 18 of the SCVs, and he defended his third for now. He needs to desperately make more Banelings, though. He just needs to do... If he builds any drones, it's a crazy move. He should be doing nothing but Queens, Lings, Banes, and trying desperately to survive. With Bane speed now out, he's going to be all right. Cleans up that Widow Mine, doesn't take a big hit from it. And there's no 4th command center for Cure. So Cure's in huge trouble now. Taking the Baneling hit on the front and just being a bit too slow to pull those SCVs back. 2 mistakes in the heat of the action, and a great move for Solar to go for the Ling run by. Gets himself back in a good position. Cure still has a nice army, but of course, Solar has the nice economy. 77 drones, a 5th base on the way. His creep spread sucks, though. That's something where he's feeling very limited. And there's not many Queens as well. There's only 5 Queens, so... Yeah, Cure's worker count is the thing that makes me say he's really behind, but I don't know if it's the end of the world. Oh, gonna go for the double drop up here, but Ling Bane's on top of him. Cure's just gonna have to pull back with that one. Try and set up another Biomine push on the left. He's going for tanks now. That's interesting. Wait, why is he going double tank? Oh, he's swapping completely because he thinks... Oh, okay, so I think Q has realized he's survived on 4 bases. He's ahead of me. He probably has a hive. He doesn't actually know, but he's saying, okay, you're way ahead on economy. You're going to get hive and lurkers. If I don't go for double tank production right now, I will die to your first lurkers. So Cure is seeing minutes and minutes ahead of time here, and I love it. That's such good awareness by him. He's like, look, I'm not going to do big damage with Widow Mines anymore. I know that's just not very likely, so completely swap off that. See what you can do. Wouldn't mind him building a 3rd factory there. But of course, Widow Mines and tanks, not really a strategic line you see for it you see at the same time that often. Even though it is amazing, it's very confusing for the Zerg to engage because they kind of want to engage a certain way against siege tanks, a certain way against Widow Mines. Widow Mines a bit more care to backstab constantly. Siege tanks more about getting one big surround on the push. Alright, Medevac picks up those Marines, still steering around, keeping the creep control far back. Solar's got his 2nd Hydra upgrade on the way, but it's more important for him to go Lurkers, and he's forgotten his Lurker, and he's just going to play Hydraling Bane. Okay, well, tanks are good against Hydraling Bane as well. There's a tank there, and some Marines coming out of the rally. Looks like he should be able to defend. Solar catches a few Marines, just chasing too far off creep. But attacking into this little corner is tough. Yeah, this little position makes this unbreakable. You cannot get in there. You've got to wait for Terran to take a 4th base, or you've got to get around the backside. Can't attack into the front there. Looks like a few Medevacs flying to the Hydras and dying. Cure a little bit sloppy. A tank walks forward as well. Okay, Cure's falling apart a little bit. He's got to wake up. He's got to make sure he's really on point with that micro. He can't be throwing new units away anymore. Did we just get... Is that the last alert? Show last alert or something? Unit complete. That's weird. Anyways, looks like... Ooh, the Marines just got gunned down by the Banelings on that Watchtower. Solar's got creep. He's got both Watchtowers. He's got Adrenal Glands, +3 armor, +1 range upgrades on the way. He's maxed out with banking, starting to bank resources. Q is trying to take a planetary on the left, but he's actually got nothing defending it. I'd like to see him set up a tank just about here. And maybe a siege tank there would be beautiful. So hard to ever kill a siege tank back there. Okay, he's got a lot of medevacs. Oh, he gets all of those banelings. Oh, that's really nice, actually. Good catch. And he's going to bring forward some marauders as well. Oh, good fight for Cure. Cure's ahead 3,500 resources in the unit's lost tab right now. Lurkedon's almost finished, and we've got a Ghost Academy and another command center on the way. Another 2 command centers, in fact. 3 upgrades on the way for Cure. It's going to try and turtle this one out. This map, it seems a bit more compact, right? Tiny choke point into this 6th base, tiny choke point into this 5th base. Actually, that's, sorry, 4th and 5th base, I should say. Ooh, okay, that's a lot of Lingbane Hydra. Viper coming in as well. Oh, the parasitic bomb could be massive. The Marines try to stand their ground. A lot of them get hit by Banelings, but they also gun down a lot of the Banelings before they connect. Brave stand of his ground there, and it does net him a few thousand resources more favor. 5,000 resources in the lead, and the units lost his Cure. Problem for him is I don't know if that's good enough. I actually feel like that might be a decent enough trade for Solar, especially now as he's got a Nidus with 8 lurkers that he's no doubt rallying to get inside it. Yep. So he's pulled those off his army hotkey, I would imagine. Yeah, he has. So he's going to try and pop a Nidus. The thing is, where is he going to pop that? Solar now finding out about this base down here. He's going to keep trying to jump on this army. Solar needs to get Overseers or something in so he can throw the Nidus in the back line. He's not going for it just yet. I think he must have misclicked something. Surely this Overseer is meant to be going into the base. There we go. He's now doing it, but there's a few Marines and a tank left up there. I think that tank is trapped. No way out of that base for that siege tank. This command center locking it in. A little unfortunate for Cure in that. Overseer coming in is blatantly obvious. Very obvious what he's going for there. But there's units that are stuck in the main. And an accident for Cure pays off as it allows him to defend. Overseer got out of vision there by the looks of it. Maybe vision, maybe it was just actually the snipe range. Once again, I still struggle to tell if it's vision or the range cutting it off. I'm gonna have to watch from the Terran vision in most of these fights. Here we go, Planetary trying to get some shots off. Command Center does lift. Nice blinding clouds coming in. The Banelings do not go after the Planetary as much as I thought they would. Blows up a few of these SCVs, but a very costly trade for Solar. Meanwhile, a Marine drop doing some damage to him behind. Nidus Worm gets up in his main. Oh my god, even though he accidentally left units here, he's not ready for it. At least he has a tank nearby, but that Lurker's in range, which means it'll beat the tank. Pretty sure a Lurker beats a tank. I'm completely wrong on that. The Ghost snipe it as well, just to make it even more one-sided. 22 SCVs go down. Oh no! Just when I thought that last fight was kind of bad for Solar and he was starting to get a bit too wasteful, Cure letting this distraction gets up means he's distracted on the front. Pulls back a second late. He doesn't have many tanks covering this left side. Oh, very good. I like the way Solar just stopped attacking the middle. The middle was way too defended. Starts splitting off. Even though that gets defended, the way he's avoided that spread, beautiful. Cure does have a new 4th base up on the right side. He's 8,000 resources ahead in the units lost tab, but he's just lost 28 SCVs. He's trying to rebuild his economy. He's going to have to send some SCVs to repair. There we go. One of them repairing. And try to just hang on. Now, Lurkonitis shouldn't really be an issue. He'll notice that the next time it tries to come past, especially if he builds a turret on the far right, turret on the very bottom. No way for an Overseer to get past without taking a lot of damage. And the Marines are going to get in. They'll take out a few creep tumors, a few drones. Sees the Nidus Worm popping on that left side. Still mostly Lingbane Hydra. 4 Lurkers are still in the Nidus. 1 Lurker's going to go for a bit of harassment there. Cure, he's moving his army to the right side. That Lurker harassment on the left does get sniped. Good reaction. Planetary trying to hang on here. Viper, Hydraling, Bane. Oh, great trades for Solar. Just, Solar doesn't have enough supply to cover every side. He's forced to be centrally located. Solar moves in on the right, pulls back, and moves back in on the left side. That is a masterclass on how to pick apart a Terran player. Solar will not be going down easily. He's not going to fall to a 0-2 scoreline. He's going to force Cure, of course, to angrily clean up these drops. Or not even drops, but these shoves of Lingbane Hydra. And from there, he has no play. He's going to make concussive. Oh, he must have been watching one of those fights going, why are the Banelings closing the distance so easily? Then he's realized he forgot concussive this whole time. That's a really important upgrade. For those who don't know, concussive shells does actually slow down opponent units by 50% move speed for about 2 seconds. It's a very effective upgrade because it blocks the front units and that blocks the other units get stuck behind them and they clump up even more. That's a lot of Banelings. 62 Banelings! Oh, he's attacking around a corner, though. This is not where you want to fight as Solar. There we go. I like the Lings trying to run in the backside. Going after the sensor tower. Good move. On the right side, he's got to be careful, though. Half his army there may work. just attacking all from one side. A little bit dicey. Solar's going to YOLO it. Ooh. Not wanting to go for the full Ragnarok of Banelings. Oh, Ling's getting value in the back, though. My god. Massive, massive value. Oh, Q is taking a lot of damage. The Nidus in the main distracts him. He rolls back in on the front side. Blinding Cloud. But a lot of the Banelings do fall. Solar, though, has his opponent down to 37 SCVs right now. He may be down 12,000 resources in units lost, but Solar is consuming the entire map. Snipes start to go down. Few of those snipes do get broken. Definitely something which you've got to be frustrated as a Cure in this scenario. But Solar being allowed to retreat from some of these fights without being punished quite as hard. Ooh. Alright, Lingbane Hydra there. We've got Lurker Harass on the left side. Right now, Percy from the Green Mile is walking up and down the cells. Cure, of course, sitting in one of them and saying, "Dead man walking." And he's just generally being a bit of a dick. But Cure, of course, is the one who is basically out of this game. Just waiting for Solar to finish. But he's still got a big army. So there is a dream. Like, Solar's so cost inefficient in finishing this that, like, the bank... There's, like, part of me that's like, well, if he just doesn't rebuild SCVs, takes one or two more really good defensive fights, and then, like, Solar's bases are getting so exposed, right? He's having to move his workers pretty far forward. Did you guys know rich gas geysers are double gas mining, by the way? Gold minerals are only plus 40%, but a rich geyser is double. You get 8 gas a trip rather than 4. Something I only learned the other day. I always thought it was just plus 40%. They're a much more rare mechanic and rarely used compared to the gold. But definitely something that now that I realize I'm a bit of a dummy. Man, army supply is getting big. Solar should keep trading here. If you could bring a Viper in on that left side, that would be really effective. Bring a Viper in, Blinding Cloud those tanks or abduct them, and Floodlings into the main and natural again. Drop on the right side. Just being a nuisance. And yeah, Q is going for the Supermaxed guys. Now, Supermax Prison's not something you really want to be using. Likewise, a Supermax in StarCraft, staying really low on workers and trying to get an extra big army. It's a little bit of a dicey decision. Here we go. Solar goes to that Blinding Cloud we were talking about. The Ghosts trying to fall back. The Ling Bane Hydra getting blocked. The Hydras and the Banes got blocked on the left side. A few Banes blow up some of these Ghosts. He saves 8 of the Ghosts. Cure with some very good pickup micro. Oh my god, if he can defend the right side as well, which he can. He can! Oh my god, he's up to 15,000 resources more efficient. That was a really bad fight for Solar, and I think Cure might try to counter push now. I don't think he can, but he might try it. Lurker's getting ready for the backstab. Remember that Solar technically can have 50 less or 40 less worker supply, army supply than his opponent. It's not the case, it's equal army supply, but, you know, it's just Solar can't use his bank all at once. He has to use it piecemeal, a little bit at a time. That's what Q is looking for. And you know what? He's floating bases. He's dropping mules. He's still being patient. He's still playing very patiently right now. He's not overcommitting. Lib's going to move forward to the top right. Lurkers come in. Oh, he's going to lose an orbital. Oh, he's going to lose. Oh, he's lost all 3 barracks over here. Now he's going to lose the orbital. Ghosts trying to do some snipes. But on the right, Massling, Bane, Viper, the Blinding Cloud really messing with the AI of the bio. The Banelings finally catching him. And landing some decent hits. I say decent hits, my god, a lot of bio was still standing there. 19,000 resources less efficient is Solar. As soon as he spends that money, he'll be fine. He's actually out of lava, though. He's been building so much Link Bait, he's out of lava. He can't spend his minerals. Solar's like, oh god, I should really be injecting. Yes, you should. He hasn't been injecting all of his extra hatcheries. I mean, he's got bloody 9 hatcheries in a hive, so 10 hatcheries. So it's a lot of production constantly popping out of these hatcheries. Baneling's trying to morph here. Loses the bottom left side. Definitely a good idea to retake these bases. Keep trying to mine them. Cure is playing for the marathon style. I thought it was all about one big shove, but he's like, nope, we're just going to survive and survive. And by never rebuilding workers, I won't put money into non-military units, so when the map mines out, I'll have been more efficient. Ooh, and look at this, just lifting command centers, running away. Baiting his opponent into bad fights, running away. His 10 medevacs are permanently out of energy in this game, which just goes to show how well he is keeping his units alive, but also how desperate his situation is. 82 Zerglings, 26 Banelings, 13 Hydras. We've got a Viper making as well. Still no Infestors. And remember, Infestors are king. Not to mention Broodlords would be amazing versus such a tank-heavy style. A lot of Lings, a few Banes in that right side. Mineral Line is guaranteed damage, and you're going to see Solar back away from the right, move to from the left, move to the right side. Gets a lot of those workers, 16 workers, forces the orbital to lift, and those sort of losses are irrecoverable for a Cure, who is, at this point, he's not the Cure, he's the disease, and that disease is not having economy as a Terran player. Cure accidentally only sends one drop to the left side. I think he meant to send both. So he's got 2 Marauders and 4 Marines in that one. Units lost tab, 22,000 resources in favor of Cure. That's a few mined out bases. I think one might... Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. It's about 2 fully mined out bases more efficient than Cure's been. So if he can keep denying this base, I mean, Solar is out of gas. He's losing a few workers there, which I don't think he minds too much right now, but I like that Q is doing anything to keep him busy on his side of the map. Bio in the middle needs to get out. Ooh, that's a nasty parasitic bomb that is. Gets 2 medevacs, heavily damaging a 3rd one. Good micro though, saves the drop in the top, saves the drop in the bot. He's going to drop the bot, drop the top, drop the bot, drop the top. Yo-Yo say no-no, Cure say boo-boo. Cure, he's going to lure. When you cast a series like this, and a game where Cure should have, he's been dead for a long time, and he's kind of giving me hope, but at the same time, Solar has not made a big enough mistake. The only way, oh my god guys, if Cure makes a nuke, and look at that, look at how many Banelings he's killing! Oh my god, he's killing so many of these morphing Banes and Lurkers. He's actually out of ghost energy. Solar's just going to shove it in there. Solar has lost his patience. He's lost his cool. He's attacking around a corner into siege tanks. Never a good idea. Oh man, the Lings are getting a bit of damage in the main. But remember, this corner, this is an area you cannot engage. That is the one place you should never engage on this map, people. If there's tanks behind that, long-range units, unless you have the range advantage, in which case, obviously, it'll work to your favor. That is ridiculous. Solar right now, guys, is up to 26,000 resource deficit in the units lost tab. Absolute insanity. Only 14 workers for Cure. His economy is not an economy. Right now, guys, he's printing money. He's like, it's really worth something. They're like, dude, you're printing $30,000 banknotes and it's worth like $1 American. He's like, no, believe in the Republic of Terran. We're a real republic. This is really valuable special money. Like, what's backing your currency, Cure? And he's like, belief that mules are overpowered? We're like, yeah, I don't know if people are going to be investing in that currency or using that currency or trusting it very much. Mass Ling coming in. Parasitic bombs, Banelings, Hydras from all sides. Oh god, there's just so much Zerg, man. There's just so much Zerg. The Terran running, screaming, throwing their guns on the ground. Ah, it's game over, man. It's game over. There's just too many of them. And I agree, Nameless Marine, screaming, throwing your gun on the ground, and looking up as the Leviathan flies on overhead and the battlecruisers teleport out of orbit. There was just too much Zerg on the dance floor. Oh, by the way, units lost tab, 21,000 deficit. All right, guys, we've got Solar in the bottom right side. We're going on to Gresvan. Very good map. Cure on the top left of this one. It looks like Cure is going to be going for a quick 3rd command center behind this Reaper expand. So pretty chilled out opening for him. But wait. Oh, I thought that was an SCV. I thought he was going to build his command center at his 3rd base, which would be very greedy. But no, he's building it on the high ground. And a single Zergling kill to start. Nothing too major. Now Solar. Oh! Cure getting very greedy. So we've got this 3rd base here, right? So he's going to go 3rd there. 4th down there, maybe. But on these maps, you've got to break these rocks down to open up these paths. There's a lot of rocks on the new maps, and you really need to be active on trying to break those rocks down. Open up new run-by paths, open up new defenses. And personally, I feel like this 4th on the right is better. And then just try and expand 5th and 6th base up here and really control the north of the map if you're winning the game. If you're losing, you may be forced to take a 5th down the bottom. Expand away from your opponent, pushing into you. Now, we're talking about match fixing just before and scandals. People said Marine King lost an epic match where he pretended to not see the spine crawler building in his vision. Marine King was not a great player. I don't know if that one was ever proven. I don't think there was proof of Marine King's culpability. But there was just a lot of suspicion. A lot of people were very angry over that match. And that is one way you can get caught for match fixing, is if you have to lose a certain map and then your opponent obviously isn't in on it and does like a crazy cheese to you, it's hard to, you know, mess up a cheese defense on purpose. But I don't think he was ever there was any proof against him. Could be wrong. Anyways, back on track. Vikings. Oh, guys. Oh my God. Marauder build. It's going to be the concussive, the 3cc Marauder Hellbat. This is a build that Cyril died to once. Hero Marine in the Valencia season. Took him out. Third command center is going to go down there. That armory should be starting up soon. He started concussive a lot earlier than you need to, so I think that's a mistake, personally. Viking's going to get an Overlord kill. It's pretty good. Solar, does he realize what's going on? Solar doesn't have a Baneling Nest, a Roach Horn, or a Spine Crawler, guys. He's only going for 8 queens as well. If he was building 9 or 10 queens, I'd feel a little better about his chances of defending this. Comes in, the Hellions defend. Oh, Q has done this to me before in one of these weekly cops. He just never moves across with these Hellions. He only pokes with a few of them. Doesn't let you scout at all. And then hits you with a fierce Hellbat Marauder timing. It's not quite as quick as the other one with no third CC, but it has such a big economy behind it as well. Very hard to fight against. There's 2 depots building. He was slightly supply blocked, which does delay the Liberator follow-up. And here we go, guys. 3 Marauders, a whole pack of Hellions. I think he's hoping to catch the Queens. Or he's just waiting for a few more. Oh, he's going to go. Oh, he's still not shown it. Yet somehow Solar seems to be wary of something coming. Oh, Solar quickly pulling back. He's got to spread his queens. Spread the queens! Spread the queens! Don't run back in a pack. Spread them out. Solar's got to spread these queens or the Hellbat damage is going to ruin him. Almost gets the medevac. Solar needs to pull back. He's got to pull back. His queens are way too clumped. They're taking Hellbat splash damage right now. Oh, not a perfect defense, but great Ling run by. He's doing good damage. But he just got hammered too. His queens got hammered way too hard. No roaches, no banelings, no spines. He's dead. Even if he kills 10, 12 SCVs there, and 11 indeed is the final number, there's just no way to deal with that amount of Hellbats. So a big mistake for Solar there, guys. When he saw that, he needed to spread queens in a big arc so that they weren't taking splash damage. He tried to focus the medevac down, and that clumped his queens way too much. Even though he got the medevac, it was a big mistake from Solar. Nice build for Cure. All right. Being a bit greedy there and called out for it. Needed a perfect queen defense to hang on there. This is Solar. And Cure mixing in a bit of aggression, greedy aggression. Very hard to read that aggression. You see the third command center. And what does every Zerg do? They just keep building drones, spread lots of tumors. It's 5 minutes. You haven't attacked yet. Cool. Put even more tumors down. Double Evo chamber. Start a Baneling Nest. Oh, there's Hellbats in my face. I'm dead. So very good hiding of that attack for Cure. And really well done. Pig, can you try to scroll around a little bit more smoothly? It's making me dizzy. Yeah, sure. Why not? Sorry, I've been a bit unfocused today. So we are trying to follow a lot of action as well. A lot of following player cameras. There we go. We'll do a bit more follow cam. All right, Reaper's coming across Dragon Scales now. Factory coming in, Marine coming on out. Man, this has been a pretty epic series. It would be a shame if this one just ends at like 8 minutes to like Bane speed not being ready and Solar dying. But Solar actually fought back really well. Remember, he did massive damage with that run by in game 2 and got himself in a good spot. But considering I also thought he was ahead in game 1 and that turned around and game 2 was so hard to finish, I feel like Solar's not very used to attacking on these maps and maybe lacks a bit of confidence. Maybe lacking a little bit of confidence. Third hatchery is about halfway done. Third command center's there. Starport starting up there. Do we have a second gas? Yeah, second gas goes down. Got a Reaper coming on up. Okay, so this is just a pretty chilled out standard opening. I like that there's another Marine on the way. It's going to help him deny the Overlord. So if the Overlord sacrifices in, if you have 2 or 3 Marines, you can kill it down. Kill it pretty quickly. And just keep your opponent in the dark. And look how much space you have to cover to get in there and see the third command center. So that's actually really nice. Dragon Scales, of course, pretty epic map, guys. Gives me some Reign of Fire vibes. Just kind of a bit of a demolished world. Lots of fire and red and black shit and lightning everywhere. Sorry for the language today, guys. That's the second time we've dropped the S-bomb. you'll notice that whilst I still have a lot of innuendo, I make sure the naughty words happen in your head, not out of my mouth these days. Making it, if not child-friendly, slightly less child-unfriendly, the stream and the YouTube. It's been a fun challenge as well. It's actually been a really fun game, being a bit more creative with me language. Dropping F-bombs and C-bombs left, right, and center. Not the funnest way to use English. Oh, he's like, hey, I'm doing a Viking again. I'm doing a Viking again. But seeing the second Marine, you know it's not the Marauder build. I really like just how dedicated he is to not letting units in, though. Like, is he going to grab these guys and then, yeah, leave those Hellions just to make sure Solar can't see what's up? Solar could potentially surround him, but running up the ramp, he's going to take a few Hellion shots. And whoa, 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 a Nidus? Oh, Solar's going all in. Sorry, guys, I wasn't paying attention. That's a very quick lair. He's going to go Spore Crawler in the main to defend and a Queen. He's going to let Queen Ling Nidus the main base. And there's not many units out to defend. Oh, this could be really effective. He's got a big Ling run by ready. There's no wall off. I'd like to see that Nidus worm go up right away. I don't know if he has enough vision. He's going to do it. He's going to do it. And I like the Overseer flying all the way in. So Q has no idea, guys. Now, the Lings are going to run in, but ooh, not the best engage. He gets rid of only like 1 or 2 Marines at most. Oh, actually, yeah, this is a pretty good early defense for Q, but Q now realizes it's much more serious than he thought. Queens are out in the main. No answer to them right now. No Siege Tank, no Banshee. Lib in the main being a bit of a dick, but it's only going to get a few drone kills. Lings trying to dance around as much as they can. Ooh, but the Hellions and the Marines are doing pretty well right now. Those Queens need to pull back on creep. Uh-oh. Oh my god, the Transfusers need to go down. As the Lings come out, though, they'll do great damage. Lings running up. Oh, that Marine on the right aggroed a lot of Lings over there. Oh, it's a lot of damage going down. Solar says you cannot just keep going 3 Command Center and playing greedy Viking Liberator Hellion versus me. Where is your actual defensive safety units? Where's your Banshees? Where are your tanks? Well, even if you had Banshees, I've got an Overseer, so that wouldn't work. And look at me just stomp on through. I do think Q should have built a bunker back here the moment he saw what was happening and tried to float his factory down and get a tech lab up, because I feel like getting a bunkers and tanks is the best way to deal with this sort of thing, and just staying back from it. He thought he had the numbers to overwhelm. But Solar ties up the series and forces a game 5. All right, well, he dug into his Christmas stocking and said, oh no, what's this? Oh, there was some cheese in there. I didn't even realize. Oh god, it's weeks since Christmas. It's been in there growing moldy and stinky. Picks it up, flings it at Kyo's face, gets a nice victory, and forces that 5th match. Well done, Solar. Now this series is going to be decided here on Royal Blood. Kira in the bottom left side. Of course, you get on this map nice little fancy carpets to put your hatcheries and command centers on. You can see here, it's gonna slowly grow on the carpet. Very nice. There's a lot of rocks that are slowing down these paths across the map that can be opened up. So I do want to see Solar be very active on those. You've also got a gold base on the side. 6 mineral gold base, 1 gas. But of course it can get harassed from the behind area. So it's going to be only really used in the later game. But it could still be reasonably effective. And I think this is one of the more medium-sized maps out of the new maps. And I say that and I look at the map, just the size of everything on it. And I'm like, well, it does look like there's a big distance between the players though. So we'll see exactly how this one goes. All right, Mule's dropping, Reaper on the way. Kua says he's all in me last game. He's not going to take any chances game 5. Doesn't bother SCV scouting. Now, if Kua happened to be getting proxy hatcheried, Solar was building a hatchery out here, going for the old 14 hatch, 14 pool, 14 double gas. He could do a 1-base Ravager, probably straight up win this game, but he's not going to. He's going to go 6 Zerglings, so he does believe this is a shorter rush distance map, and 4 Lings won't cut it. We'll see how that goes. Already 1 Ling getting weak, but as long as he doesn't have to pull the drones off mining, he's happy. And that 3rd hatchery already going down off to the left side as well. Ooh! Okay, Queen moving forward there. Should be able to put that tumor down, but the Reaper hasn't taken any damage, making it really hard. So Solar finally gets the most conservative tumor of all time. But doesn't lose any units. 3rd command center does start up behind this. Q is going to go for the big macro game. And we've got the queen in the main base as well. Oh yeah, I really am dragging my camera around a lot, aren't I? This is crazy. It's funny because I was watching someone doing really bad observing earlier today and was really annoyed at it. Just on my phone, watching something on YouTube, I think it was. Alright, third hatchery is up on the left side. Got the gas there. You can see factory. Second barracks. Ah, okay, so it's going to be a 2-1-1 opening, guys. Just 2, maybe 4 Hellions at most. Looks like just 2 this time. And he's going to use those in the Reaper for defense and go straight into Stim. Head for that double medevac pressure. The Reaper has returned home as well. And you can see that Solar is keeping his Overlord back in a pretty conservative position. So it's going to be hard for him to scout this because, well, guess what? He always leaves his Hellions just at the front guarding your scouting. So nothing to really tell Solar what's going on. I imagine Solar will probably go quick lair into Baneling Nest, delay his double upgrades a long time, just because that's the most safe standard build, and it's what he really pioneered. Back when everyone was rushing double upgrades, Solar was the one guy who would always go lair, get the Bane speed, get the second gas, and pairing that up with some of the really efficient clash openings from Europe is especially effective. Great scout. He sees the barracks on the reactor, so he knows what build this is. He says, oh, okay, you built 2 Hellions and swapped it back, probably a 2-on-1. And he will know to start massing Zerglings in maybe 30 seconds time. About 5 minutes is usually early enough if you're playing against a 3 command center build. You can see the starport swapped over, the medevacs there are going to be building. We've got Baneling Nest, second gas, third gas. Oh, okay, so Dark's been doing this lately, the 3 gas variation. So with this version, he should be putting back on this gas as well, which he's forgot to put the third worker back on. He'll go lair, and he'll also get the double Evo chamber pretty soon as well. Now, this tends to keep you off getting an early 4th, but it means you can get Baneling speed and 1-1 upgrades pretty early on. And in fact, he's already going for another gas, I guess, because he's just got so many workers. His early game has been so efficient, he says, why not? Oh, God! What is this build? Oh, it's actually... Okay, sorry, it's just 2-3 Hellions. I was like, I thought it was a lot more Hellions than that. He gets in, he sees what's up, he sees extra barracks. This is a very 2-basey looking setup, but of course the third command center is already out there. Hopefully Solar realizes what's up. He's making 16 Lings plus 12, 28 Zerglings, 7 Banelings, and of course these 9 Queens. That Overlord will go down, as well as some creep tumors. Good pullbacks on the Queens. Just let that Stim run out. Remember, Stim doesn't last forever, guys. If he has to use it again, then that's going to be very painful on those units. Hellions get surrounded, and the drop just moves on up into the main base. Ooh, okay, Marines and Hellions going to just pick up, save themselves. Spore Crawler gets a single hit off. I'm going to take the 4th in the top left. I like this 4th. Do I, though? Actually, I'm not sure if I like this 4th. I don't mind it because this drop is so active on the right side, but I think he should take this 5th as well in case he loses control of the left side. That'd be a good way to do it. Baneling speed's on the way. Now, where are those upgrades? It looks like 1-1 starting up at 6:15. Yeah, so pretty quick Baneling speed and 1-1. That's what I was talking about. And he can just rally over to that 4th base, get up a macro hatch in a 5th base in the near future, and that will give him excellent production. Cure, on the other hand, he's gone up to the 4th barracks. Where's the 5th barracks? That's got to be a mistake. Normally you chuck them both down at the same time. There we go. Adjusting and fixing that up. Lots of depots are going down out front in the 3rd base, so he's going to start walling that off at least a little bit. Marines and Hellions still being active. The Hellions getting taken out. And these Marines still just veering around, looking for where is that 4th base, and they find the drones long distance mining. Not going to be able to do too much, but he can potentially pick up a double drop and go and look for the snipe on the 5th base at the same time. Great move by Solar. Takes these rocks down, and I'd love to see him try and tear some of those other rocks down as well. Maybe these ones with a handful of Zerglings. It's not high priority just yet, but something that he could start looking towards. And Marines going to just pick on up before many of them go down. Army moving through the middle. Siege tanks setting up in the mid-ground. Interesting. And more tanks being built by Cure, so he's not going Widow Mines, guys. He's missed his reactor, though. His armory's a little late. Doesn't feel like Cure's macro is quite as tight as it could be. Solar, on the other hand, is floating a lot of money. And he's got no lava. So Solar definitely should get a macro hatchery. There we go. Finally going down at almost 8 minutes. Yeah, Solar's got good money, good control, good upgrades. But right now, 1-1's done for Terran. 20 seconds, 15 seconds away for the Zerg. He should not fight till those upgrades are done, and he should definitely flank. Look at this setup for Solar. He is getting a big, juicy Terran sandwich ready. The depots can't quite see it. Oh, Kua doesn't realize he's about to get snapped on, man. Oh, this Ling Bane, though, should try to be to the left as much as possible, as should these guys. He's going to attack around the corner. Not the best angling for Solar. He does come in a little bit. And, oh my god. Oh, great pickups by Kua. He's going to drop across those minerals. Tank's getting some pretty deadly shots off as well. Oh, good pickups by Kua, avoiding the worst end of that fight. And I start to think, should Solar have just moved the drones and gone for a backstab instead? It might have netted him more gains there. He does have a couple tanks at home, does Kua, so he's got some defensive setup. He's got another factory as well. The double tank production seems to be his MO versus Solar. I think Solar should play Ultras. I really think Solar should just play Ultras. He's got a quick infestation pit. Go for the hive. Try to get those Ultras out. And I don't think double tank, mostly marine production, is going to do well versus that. Oh, you're kidding me! Oh, man, the Zerglings just couldn't kill those marines quick enough. The Banes were too far behind. Gets a hatchery snipe. He's going to go for another one. This one should be impossible, though. Left side of the map, the marines still being annoying, just getting good trades. Now, this is something Clem was really abusive with for a while. That season where Cyril started opening roaches against him just to stop the marines being able to chip away at you like this. Roaches were a little bit better for shooting the marines from range, forcing them to pick up earlier so they couldn't stand, gun down 10, 20 Zerglings, pick up, fly away, come back 30 seconds later. Wow, that's cool. I didn't notice this cool spaceship over here, hovering just above the grass over there on that landing pad. Good creep up the middle, but he's lost a lot of creep on the right side. Solar is going towards 6 bases, though. If he can defend all 6 bases, that gives him great room, gives him great control. He's on 87 workers. And Kua's got a 4th planetary on the way, but I feel like Solar's in the lead in this game right now. Even though there's 8 barracks, even though the tank count is growing. Oh, good pickup at the last second, the triple medevac drop. Boosting around, Lings and Banes pushing it back though. Still got a double drop hiding on the right side. Overlord knows it's there. There's Lings, there's Spores. No Spores down here just yet. 8 Queens are still out on the map. We've got some decent creep spread. The Queens, though, walking off creep for a moment. Uh-oh. Ooh. Luckily doesn't get spotted by Kua. Doesn't realize that's there. Doesn't take advantage. Ooh. Okay, there we go. Nice catch, nice catch. Zergling, Baneling coming forth. Too many tanks. Attacking into that would be... Actually, he could get rid of the tanks with that many Zerglings. With so many Marines in the medevacs, he actually could have jumped on that. Banelings in the mineral line, Lings spreading across the tanks would have been an okay trade. Hard for him to make that decision, though, as he does not see what we see. Solar doesn't want to just attack and headbutt into the enemy's territory. Viper, Burrow, +3 carapace, adrenal glands, Spire. So much tech coming in for Solar. No Hydras, no Lurkers, no Ultras. That's really weird. Continuing to do nice pickups, avoiding taking any critical damage. And these Marines just coming in and yet again sniping that 6th base. I guess it was the 5th base earlier that he got. Still a very good move. Banelings actually get a few of his Marines there. I don't think Solar minds too much because he's been 1 base above what he really needs this whole time. He's like, yeah, you can snipe a hatchery, delay a little bit of mining, but I've still got the 5th, still got the 4th. +3 melees on the way. Is he going to go Great Aspire? If so, I think he needs to go Pathogen Glands. Otherwise, Ultra Cavern would be great. You can play Massling Bane Viper, but with only 1 Viper, it's a little bit of an odd call. It's a big enough map that I do love the mobility this style offers. It's going to allow him to just roam the map, and as Kua expands, smash into his bases. Kua wisely taking this base, just nestled in front of his other bases, so that the defenses can cover both bases at once. Notice how this tank spready goes all the way back here towards his natural. So these bases are all kind of defended by the same group of tanks. I think this wall off and this sensor tower getting busted would really open up Solar's opportunities. Viper comes in, drops a blinding cloud, gets out of there. Ling Bane rolls in, great lift on the command center and great defense. Oh man, that was not a good fight for Solar. Solar is down 7,000 resources. He's been in a good position with map control for a long time, but he's going Corrupted Broodlord without Infestors. I can't get behind that. I think Ghosts will actually be able to deal with him if he doesn't have Infestors. We'll see. Baneling's going after the command center. Nice hot pick up on that. SCV repairing it. 16 SCVs do go down, so that is a good trade. There's only 3 orbitals right now. More orbitals are starting to make, 3 of them morphing, heading towards that Iron Bank. Broodlords are going to morph on the front line right now. Where is that? Where are those Broodlords morphing? Here they are. 6, 7, 9 Broodlords on the front. Still no Infestors, though. Solar hates the Infestor, guys. The best unit in the game. It's a niche support unit, so I understand why pros don't use it that much, but lately it's been getting very little love, and it makes me sad. I just want to see a few of those fungal boys. A few of those fungal boys. Game changers, man. All right, Lings on the left. That tank will break them. Oh, no, they're going to get in. Planetary's not quite ready. I think that Planetary will finish just barely in time. Man, Adrenal Zerglings do so much damage, they're going to get it. They get the Planetary. Oh, he was too distracted on the right, so he doesn't get it. Marines do drop in the back base and start to do damage. SCV is trying to defend this Planetary. Bio's coming forward, as is the Snipes. Remember, Broodlords cannot escape Snipe before it goes off. Their only choice is to stand and fight and try to interrupt those Snipes. Great transfuses, though. He absorbs the first wave of Snipes. Remember, there's not that many Ghosts on this field for very long, so he hasn't really got that much done. This Ghost will clean up those Zerglings. That Planetary is going to fall. Solar may have done it. Broodlord, something is ignored all series long, and for once, he brings in a wave of Broodlords. I was doubting it because he didn't have Infestors, but the Ghost did not have enough energy. The Broodlords were enough of a surprise. And Cure, he's already lost a bunch of tanks. He's still got 7. He must have had at least 10 tanks, maybe 11 or 12. And that is why Solar is going to be able to smash through, because heavy Siege Tank does not deal with Broodlords. And when you've got momentum like this, switching into Broodlords can suddenly crack open that defensive situation, that position where the Terran seems so unbreakable. And then you realize, yes, we've all encountered scenarios where Broodlords are trash, but often in the scenario where everything else isn't working, the Broodlord is the perfect answer, especially when you see a lot of siege tanks. Banelings getting big boomies all over their face. Ghost Marines, SCVs falling, and Solar in Game 5 off the back of a dirty Nidus Sling in Game 4. Wins the macro game. A fantastic opening. His early game optimizations just off the charts. And he wins the series 3-2, and he's your NA champion.